शङ्रूपतदामीयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिके वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं विष्णुवां च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सागरावगतां वितन्तं सजीव साधुवेतां सावधूतां परिजनं शयितुं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सागराललितश्रीशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादिपाक्षप्रदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमपदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्रिसे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु भक्तदे गोपेशा गोपिका कांता सुराधा तप्त कांचन गौरांगे श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वामित्र प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। यस हरे कृष्णा। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु। आई एम ऑडिबल टू ऑल ऑफ यू राइट?
Yes, Prabhuji.
ओके, तो we see that we are in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where it begins with the six questions were asked by Arjuna, and those six questions about the Chitra, Chitragya, Jnanam, Geya, and Prakriti and Purusha. So till now we have seen all the six questions answered. Now this the last section of this chapter is there, and which is putting everything together. Then Krishna is giving the Jnana Chaksun and the eye of knowledge, that how one can see beyond the material conception. So 27 to 35 we will see today. But before starting that, I have a question for all of you. And that in last time we saw that how the living entity get entangled. So can somebody can tell what is the root cause of a living entity getting entangled into material world?
The enjoying living entity try to enjoy this material nature to this
The desire to enjoy, or the enjoying mentality. Uh, and then what is the solution was given by Srila Prabhupada, that Jiva who has been entangled so strongly in this material world, then how this Jiva can become freed uh, from this entanglement. Yes, Asis Maripuja.
If we submit to the hearing process submissively, then we can get away.
So if we submit to the hearing process very, very submissively, then that was the solution given by Srila Prabhupada. And so that's why when by the great fortune, a living entity comes in contact with the some devotee or pure devotees of the Lord, so then he comes in contact of them and hears about the Lord, and that becomes the step for his getting disentangled or get freed from this material world. And then we saw that how hearing process and is very, very important. So that we saw that uh, at our level, when we discuss about that how at the last that hearing has to be done very, very attentively. So now my question to all of you is that according to 1.3.44 per part, how one can have hearing with a rapt attention? Yes, yes, Pushpender Kaur.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when our achar, eating, eating, sleeping, and defending would be pure, then our actions will be pure, and then our mind would be
Mm.
pure. That will result in rapt attention.
Uh, so we need to become daks. You know? The daks means what? The expert into what? Uh, the basic lifestyle. You know? If somebody is regulated in his what? Eating, sleeping, meeting, defending, you know, then his mind will be very peaceful. And with the peaceful mind, one can perform devotion service, or one can hear with the rapt attention. Like you see that sometimes your sleep is not proper, then morning chanting become very tough. Is it not? Or you have eaten the prasadam so much, and specifically evening time, then it become next day morning chanting become very tough. And that's how the immediate this has the effect on our the basic core practice of Krishna consciousness and when the basic regulated lifestyle is not there. And the next was another meaning of daksam is one more thing is what daksam means becoming expert into dealing with others. And so when our dealing is not good with other devotees, then what happens? And some friction is there with some devotee, then that causes the anxiety, and that anxiety, due to that anxiety, then we it become difficult for us to hear uh, the Krishna conscious subject matter. Why? Because the mind become disturbed. Mind is not peaceful. And so that's why very important these two aspects becoming daksha into regulated life or lifestyle and then dealing with other devotees. And so now we will go further. 27. यावत् संजायते किंचित सत्वं स्थावर जंगमम क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तदविधि भरतर्षभा. Somebody can read the translation.
O chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field.
So whatever you see in this material world, you will find, there are either be moving or not moving. It is a combination of both chitra chitrika. It means what? There is a superior nature and inferior nature, both are working together. Means the Prabhupada is writing in Prabhupada. There are many manifestations like trees, mountains, hills, which are not moving, and there are many existence which are moving. All of them are but combination of material nature and the superior nature, the living entity. And so, like you say, the ocean, but ocean is the waves in the oceans are there, but it's not automatic. The existence of ocean is there before with the Lord. There's the superior nature. The waves are there because the the air and the air are moving because of there are the demigods. So there is a due because of combination of both uh, material nature and the spirit nature. Both is there. That's why things are existing in this world. So how long this relationship is there between inferior nature and superior nature? When it is from time immemorial. That's the relationship between the material nature and spiritual nature is eternally going on. This combination is affected by the Supreme Lord, therefore, he is controller of both superior and inferior nature. The material nature is created by him, the superior nature is placed in the material nature, and thus all these activities and manifested take place. And it means what? Jnana Chaksu means what? The seeing the Lord everywhere, how everything is taking place. And because the hand of Lord is there, that's why things are taking place. And so that is called Jnana Chaksu. But generally, Gyanis uh, may not have immediate this understanding of having the understanding that okay, the Lord is doing everything. Initially, he may not have that vision, uh, but initially he may start seeing on some level what okay things are taking place due to the nature. and then he comes to more evolve. He gets more evolved, and then he comes to the understanding that there is a beyond the nature is what who is controlling the nature is Lord. Like if you go for first year preaching also, or many students also you meet, then many people they talk about God. There is a Prakriti is functioning. Because of Prakriti, the things are taking place. The cause is material nature. And- But then you ask that, okay, who is controlling the nature? If the nature is automatic, and then he comes to understand that, okay, there is a higher beings, the higher intelligent person is there. So what is, somebody can read what the Baldev Vidyabhushan says regarding this?
Janj, the Lord speaks of extent of the creation of the living entities that takes place through a combination of the Jiva and Prakriti in order to search out how to separate the two which have been associating since beginningless time. Goal free from
Uh,
material body.
so what in the whole purpose is what the Gyan, the whole purpose is what so that this um, the jiva who has get entangled in this body, how we can get separated. And his vision, first of all, is vision should change. And so that is the goal of this section, what we are reading. And like we see that actually pure devotees of the Lord, they see everything in relation with the Lord. Like you know that Srila Prabhupada, when he was walking, I think in Los Angeles or New York somewhere, he saw that one truck was going. The and the behind it was the completely like flat. It was the flat truck. And as soon as Papa saw that, he started immediately relating it. Yeah, we can use this for the Jagannath Rath Yatra. But you see that the devotees of the Lord sees everything in relation with the Lord and how it can be used in service of the Lord. Okay, but here specifically is told nature and how Kshetra and Kshetragya, everything is there. So how Jivatma, we can see everything with the equal vision. And somebody sees everything in the equal vision, it means that Lord is behind everything. Then what will be the result of that? That has been mentioned into next sloka. Sama sarvesu bhutesu tishtham parameswaram vinasyata vinasyantam ya pachyati sa pachyati. Yes, somebody can read this translation.
One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees. आगे
Uh,
पढ़ना बोले.
no. So here what is telling that one who sees there is a super soul is there accompanying all the souls. And, and he understands that super soul is indestructible, cannot be destroyed. He actually sees. The first of all, seeing super soul everywhere. And so this is so here the word has been used ya pasyati sa pachyati. So this word will come again and again many places in Bhagavad Gita. And, ya pachyati sa pachyati. It means what? He sees the super soul everywhere. And, so how does it happen? Anyone who by the good association can see three things combined together. Who? The body, proprietor of the body or individual soul, and the friends of individual soul, super soul, is actually in knowledge. And so, but how this understanding take place? So generally we have a conception of seeing the body only. And some gyanis may come to the level of okay, just soul. But all three and separately one can see that by the good association. And in here the word has been used, one place is Parameswara. What is the meaning of Parameswara? And so some people they say Parameswara means individual soul. And some people say the Parameswara is the super soul. Uh, so which Prabhupada is telling here, कि Parameswara is sometimes translated as the individual soul because the soul is the master of the body, and after the destruction, he is transferred to the another form. In that way, he is the master. But there are other who interpret Paramaswara to super soul. In either cases, both the super soul and individual soul continues. Both are not destroyed. The characteristic of soul and super soul both is there. They are not destroyed. Right? So, but how one comes to this vision? So this comes to this vision, this proper conception by the good association. And, uh, good association means what? The devotees association. Okay, devotees association will come to this understanding. Okay, there is a body, there is a soul, and then there is a super soul. Yes. Now next, samapachanahi sarvatra samavasthitam iswaram na hinasya tyat nam manam tato yati param gatim. Yes. Now this is very very important sloka. Yes, somebody can read.
One who sees a super soul equally present everywhere in every living being does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination. The living entity, by accepting his material existence, has become situated differently than in his spiritual existence. But if one understands that the Supreme is situated in his Paramatma manifestation everywhere, that is, if one can see the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead in every living thing, he does not degrade himself by a destructive mentality, and he therefore gradually advances to the spiritual world. The mind is generally addicted to the sense gratifying process, but when the mind turns to the super soul, one becomes advanced in spiritual understanding.
This is one of the amazing authors given by Srila Gokul, that one who sees the super soul present everywhere, right, and in every living being does not degrade himself with by the mind. Right? Atmana Atmam Atmanam. The first Atmanam is what? By the mind. The next Atmanam is the soul. And so he means the soul does not degrade himself by the destructive mentality. And so can somebody can tell that okay, if I see the super soul everywhere, then how will I not degrade? What if I see the Lord is present everywhere? What is the cause of my not getting degrading mentality or destructive mentality? Yes, Sandeep Pro.
तो जी हम कोई भी सिन परफॉर्म नहीं करेंगे। हम देखेंगे भगवान है तो देख रहे हैं हर जगह, तो हम कोई सिन परफॉर्म नहीं करेंगे तो डिग्रेड नहीं होंगे।
Why we will not be able to perform any sin?
क्यों जब
हिरण्यमय नेता है।
हरे कृष्णा प्रजी, ये तो
हाँ,
वही लेवल है प्रजी, एक तो फियर का, एक लव का और एक सर्विस का, ऐसे करके। तो हम डर के कारण भी नहीं करेंगे कि भगवान देख रहे हैं।
हाँ,
दूसरा लव रहेगा,
हाँ।
प्रेम रहेगा, तो भगवान ऑलरेडी बोले कि मेरी सेवा करो, ऐसी चीजें मत करो, पाप मत करो। और एक सेवा का भाव रहेगा, तो ऑलरेडी हमारा कर्तव्य का भाव, तो उससे भी नहीं करेंगे कि ये पाप क्रिया है, भगवान देख रहे हैं डायरेक्ट।
So actually, if you see the Lord is in front of you, you will behave properly. Like you are saying, standing in the temple hall. Okay. If you understand Lord is there, then you behave. Or specifically, you see some senior devotee or what with the spiritual master is just beside you, standing. Your behavior will be the first class. And, so to the degree we understand that okay, Lord is always there with me. So to that time also our behavior will become first class. And that I don't want to displease the Lord or out of fear also, like he told different reasons. The first and basic thing is that out of fear, you know, that the Lord is watching me. And so like somebody is watching us, then become very difficult for somebody to commit sinful activity or some mistake. है ना? But actually coming to this understanding takes long time to realize this. It takes very long time to realize this aspect. है ना? But how one can come to this aspect? By if one submit to the hearing process. If one regularly hears, then he understands that Lord is watching me. है ना? There are many CCTV cameras are there, and one of the prominent CCTV camera is the Super Soul, who is watching me. है ना? Getting. So why people generally, you see general class of people, they commit sin because there is a no fear of God is there, and that leads to the destructive mentality. Uh, so how the see we can see here that how the soul is degraded by the mind, and why? Because of having the material vision. What is the material vision? That I am this body, let me enjoy this body. The mind always put us into the material vision. And when we see that if we have the material vision, uh, so that affects our the destination also. Or effect. This affect our destination also. With the kind of a vision we carry, that leads to our destination. For example, like we see then Duryodhan. So Duryodhan was completely having this materialistic vision. The way he was dealing with the Vidura, know, he was calling him Putra, Dasi Putra, he was calling him the ill names. So this Duryodhana, seeing the Vidura on the by the material vision, and that's what Duryodhana was in Mahamaya. But in the same situation, we see the Vidura, he was seeing the whole situation with a spiritual vision. And that's how we see the destination of Vidura got changed. And because he was in Yoga Maya. And so that's why very important in every situation. And how we see that one some situation what happened, the same situation come to one devotee, he get degraded. And another devotee may take shelter of the Lord and get elevated. So we see that Vidura, because in the same situation he has taken the shelter of the Lord and then went to the different holy places. So in the our life also different situation, different things may come, but it is very important that we see them positively. How we can have the positive vision? We should see what is my favorable vision. What is the favorable vision for Krishna consciousness? And what is the unfavorable? But let me not keep unfavorable vision in this situation. Let me keep the favorable vision, which will uplift me, and which will uplift me. Like for example, this you are getting attacked by a lust. Now there are two kind of vision you can have. Devotees, anybody like to try? One vision by which you will degrade yourself, another vision you can uplift yourself. Other than Hiranyamaya or any other devotee.
Like in this situation, like the degrading thought will be let me enjoy, no one is saying me, like means the devotee will go somewhere other place and like he will do some wrong hand. But another thing's key because like if he feel this vision key, like if he able to see Paramatma everywhere, if he has this understanding very regularly, then he will do key. I will tolerate this, so Hari Guru Vaishnava will very pleased with this. If I will not tolerate, then I will commit sinful activity. It's a illicit also, and they will become disputes.
Okay. Yes. Any other devotee want to share something? Somebody has put in chat box. Mayank Manipur, this thing is for Krishna's enjoyment. Okay. Hiranyamaya Nitaku, that is here from him.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी मेरा प्रैक्टिकल है प्रभु जी जैसे जब लस्ट हावी होता है तो उस समय दो एक तो ऐसा रहता है प्रभु जी कि डिग्रेड होने का ऐसा रहता है कि अभी मेरे से होगा नहीं बुरी कंडीशन है अभी बहुत प्रयास कर लिया अभी छोड़ दो तो ये डिग्रेड होने का प्रभु जी दूसरा अगर होगा तो हम उस समय और ज्यादा दुखी होंगे कि मैं कितना पतित हूँ, तो बस उसके कारण विनम्रता आएगी। और जब विनम्रता आती है तो प्रभु जी फिर वो हमारा चैंटिंग, रीडिंग, हेयरिंग और भगवान का शेल्टर लेना बहुत अच्छे से हो जाता है। तो ये फेवरेबल हो गया प्रभु जी।
So there are two kind of vision making. So let us see in more detail that like if lust is attacking me, the one kind of thing is that okay, I may think that okay, uh, I am such a lonely person. I am so useless. I am so lusty. है ना? So sometimes devotees start condemning themselves so much. है ना? This is also what the material vision. है ना? How this one is material vision? Because he is seeing himself as this body and he's understanding, he's thinking that I am so low. है ना? So this also many of the time the devotees they think too much about what the these anarthas or what the superficial things which is due to this body, and that's how what happened. They keep negatively thinking like this, है ना? And that's how that degrade the devotees mood many of the time. है ना? And then there is a another positive vision a devotee can have is what you know, with this the lust is coming, that is the function of this body. But I am the spirit soul and I am servant of Krishna who is completely pure. Immediately you will find that you brings the positivity in you. I how? Because you understand that actually I am not this body only. And these things are coming on this body. My actual nature is that I am servant of Krishna. And so that becomes the whole, if your vision like this changes, you become very, you don't become hopeless. And you become hopeful. And another thing, what happens, you become, rather than becoming hopeless, you become helpless. You take the shelter of the Lord. And I am servant of Krishna. Let me take shelter of the Lord. These are superficial things coming on this due to this body. So like that. So that's how the devotees can have the spiritual vision. And but the cause is what we need to understand that the how one get degraded because of the mind. And mind is very very dangerous. And how that if a devotee is not careful, his mind may degrade him like anything. But I'll just show all of you the two slokas uh, from the Veda, the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. This is the first sloka is 5.6.4 of Srimad Bhagavatam. You are able to see this?
यस प्रभु जी।
नित्यं ददाति कामस्य छिद्रं तमनु ये र योगिना कृतमैत्रस्य प्रत्युजाये वपुंचले. An unchaste woman is very easily carried away by the paramours. It sometimes happens that the husband is violently killed by her paramours. If the yogi gives his mind a chance and does not restrain it, his mind will give facility to enemies like lust, anger, greed, and they will doubtlessly kill the yogi. And the mind is given the chance. If we follow the mind, then mind may degrade us like anything. है ना? Because mind is like the unchaste woman and who is having the uh, contact with the paramours. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, what is the way to restrict this mind? So he says that the Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, in the morning our first business should be to beat the mind with the shoes 100 times, and before going to bed, beat the mind 100 times with a broomstick. In this way, one's mind can be kept under control. An uncontrolled mind and unchaste wife are the same. Unchaste wife can kill her husband at any time. An uncontrolled mind followed by lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, and illusion can certainly kill the yogi. When yogi is killed by his control by the mind, he falls down in material condition. One should be very careful of the mind, just as the husband should be careful of the unchaste wife. Well, so this Prabhupada is telling that one has to be very alert in that mind because the same mind can degrade him like anything. Well, now, what is the solution? Then Prabhupada says the solution also is Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is telling that one should beat the mind in the morning and evening both time. The more how to what to do exactly. And so that has been mentioned by the Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita 17.16. You are able to see 17.16, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mana prasada saumyatvam maunamatma vinigara bhava samsukti iti tat tapomana samuchyate. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, purification of one's mind are the austerities of the mind. So here Prabhupada writes, this is the one of the amazing purport of Bhagavad Gita, where Prabhupada writes about that how we should deal with the mind. And to make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. It should be so trained that it can be always thinking of doing good for others. The best training for mind is gravity in the thought. We should see what kind of a thought is taking place in our mind. And the gravity in the thought should be there. And then second is what again Prabhupada is right. Satisfaction of mind is only possible, can be obtained only by taking the mind away from thoughts of sense enjoyment. The more one think of sense enjoyment, the more the mind becomes dissatisfied. The more one think of sense gratification, more it will be disturbed. In the present age, the one we necessarily engage the mind in so many different ways for sense gratification. So there is a low possibility of minds becoming satisfied. The best course is divert the mind to Vedic literature, which is full of satisfying stories as the Puranas and Mahabharata. One can take advantage of this knowledge and thus become purified. The mind should be devoid of duplicity. One should think of the welfare of all. And it means what? We should engage the mind into what preaching Krishna consciousness, and that is the welfare. The silence means that one is always thinking of self-realization. The person in Krishna consciousness observe perfect silence in this sense. Control of the mind means detaching the mind from the sense enjoyment. One should be straightforward in his dealing and thereby purify his existence. All these qualities together constitute austerity in the mental activities. Again and again, you will find one thing that detaches the mind from sense gratification or gravity in the thought. One thing. Second, Prabhupada is telling how to deal with the mind is that engage the mind into satisfying stories of the Puranas and Mahabharata. And reading Prabhupada books in that sense. Third is what we should do that engage the mind into preaching activities. Then, and the fourth, uh, what how to purify the mind? We straightforward in its dealing. And many of the time we keep so many things in our mind and mind remain agitated. We don't speak straightforwardly. Straightforward does not mean harshly, but straightforward means what we speak out the things in the with the Vaishnava etiquette, so that things does not remain in our mind. And so this is the way to deal with the mind. I gone little deeper into it, but our main subject was what? If we are not careful, then the mind can degrade us. Hare Krishna. I think internet. Or Hare Krishna.
जी
Hare
प्रभु
Krishna, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Audible. So what is the solution at our level? To how that mind does not get degraded, which has been told here, he does not degrade himself by destructive mentality. So what the sum of the how to deal with the mind, we saw that. For some of the, if I have written this, some of the solution at our level, we should hear regularly. Why? Because it maintains our proper consciousness. Right? What is that proper consciousness? Lord is everywhere. Lord is watching me. Right? And like Adi Shampoo would regularly share one the statement is, till the time knowledge is fresh, it will become easy, very easy to act upon that knowledge. Why? Because generally our tendency that we forget. The knowledge has to remain fresh. And fresh will be when we regularly eat. Umayang Panipu is telling, okay, knowledge is fresh, then it becomes easy to act upon that knowledge. If the knowledge is fresh, then it becomes easy to act upon that. So now, till now, we saw that how super soul is different from the living entity. I know the super soul is everywhere. Super soul is with the individual soul is going. Now in the next sloka onwards, the Krishna is telling how Jiva is different from Prakriti. Prakate cha karmani kriyamanani sarvasa yapachyate tathatmanam akartaram sapachyate. So this sloka looks like another sloka in Bhagavad Gita. Somebody can guess?
प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वस्य.
Ah, so we will say exactly 3.27. This looks like the same sloka, but just opposite to that. Yes. Somebody can read the translation.
One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees.
Hmm. So one who sees that all activities is performed by body, you know. So it means what? He's able to see that all things are taking place due to the nature, you know. So this is the one level of a jnani is there. So he's not come to that level of understanding that Lord is behind everything, but he's come to this understanding that the nature is behind everything. You know? So this also he's evolving jnani. You know? But what is his understanding? That all activities are taking place due to the body. And he sees that self does nothing. And it means what soul does not do anything. Soul only desires, right? Soul does not function actually. Who functions? The body functions at immediate level. Right? The Prabhupada is telling that whatever one is supposed to do, either for happiness, distress, one is forced to do because of bodily constitution. The self, however, is outside all these bodily activities. The body is given according to one past desires. To fulfill desires, one is given the body, and with which he acts accordingly. Practically speaking, the body is a machine designed by the Supreme Lord to fulfill desires. And because of desires, one is put into difficult circumstances to suffer or to enjoy. So this transcendental vision of living entity, when developed, make one separate from bodily activities. One who has such a vision is an actual seer. Right? So when he understands that, you know, actually the body is functioning, you know, so he thinks that actually I am not a doer. Actually, the body is this body due to this body happiness is coming, due to this body the suffering is coming. Right? So then one actually sees. So here Baldev Vidyabhushan says that by he who sees all these activities are being done by Prakriti alone and impelled by the Lord, by my superintendent, indicated by the word cha. तो यहाँ पे जो actually the evolving Jnani, he is not able to see it at that level, but it is also the cha which has been mentioned here. The cha means what? Prakriteva cha karmani. It means what? The nature is doing everything, but the behind the nature there is a cha. Cha means the Lord is there. There is also the super soul is there. my superintendent. Right? This is the Atma is the not doing those activities alone, see himself. So this was the same thing. But in the 3.27, what is the sloka? 3.27, the what is Prakati Kriyamanani Gune Karmani Sarvasah Ahamkar Vimudatma Kartam Iti Manate. So where the sloka is what? The way everything is done by the nature, but the foolish Atma, the Ahamkar Vimudatma, what it says? That I am the doer. Then, so he is the foolish. The definition of a foolish person has been given here. Uh, and this place, the definition of the transcendentalist has been given here. So this already I discussed this that uh, at our level how it is relevant. That the devotee sees that how the he sees beyond the material conceptions. He sees that okay how the body is functioning, and it does not identify with the body. And because it does not identify with the body, it does not entangle. But somebody identify with the body so much, then he start feeling very thinking himself to be very low, lusty, greedy, and so much anarthas I am having. So many of the time, what happen? Person become negatively thinking in that way. What is the negative thinking? I am so low. So the person become hopeless, and that entangle him more and more. Okay, let us go ahead. यदा भूत पृथक्भाव एकम स्थमनुपच्यते तत तत एव च विस्तारम ब्रह्म संपद्यते तदा. Yes, somebody can read.
When a sensible man ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception.
Uh, so means transcendentalist, he is able to see that all living entities, he does not identify with the body, but he sees that everybody is a spirit soul, and is the sees with the same vision. The Prabhupada writes that in the material conception of life, we find that someone a demigod, someone a human being, dog or cat. This is material vision, not actual vision. So this material differentiation is due to material conception of life. So now, how it can be very relevant as a devotee for all of us? You see, many of the time, some devotees' behavior, some devotees' external sabhava, you know, we get disturbed. You know. But we need to understand that is just his external nature. But actually, he's the devotee. Or if we, so we many of the time we focus very much on the physical differences. We focus very much on the uh, differences of opinion. This devotee. So we start identifying. We start thinking, judging the devotee according to the material identity. And due to that, what happened many of the time we become offensive toward the devotees. Right? So one need to see beyond the material vision. And so how this happen? So the solution is one only, which we are again and again seeing by associating with the great souls. Like Mrigari, one time the position of Mrigari that he was cutting the living entities into half, killing half and torturing them. But same Mrigari, what happened later on, he was not even killing one ant. So his material vision got completely changed into spiritual vision. How could happen? By Narada Muni's association. Right? So, like my one question for all of you, if one devotee is very harshly speaking to you, right? Now how will you see that devotee so that your mind will be peaceful?
This is my karma only.
Mahasankirtan po.
Everybody does it.
Mahasankirtan. Let us create some marks.
Can see that this is our own karma which we are getting, and that devotee is only instrument. Uh, from him we are getting our own karma. That is not
Okay.
spoiled.
He, okay. He is the instrument of my own karma. Yes, Indranil Po.
Yes, Prabhuji, more or like same answer. It is for my purification. It will purify me. Because he is devotee and he is getting angry on me, then I will get purified and I can improve.
Hmm. Right. Okay. I'll tell one statement which can help you for many places. This is also one of the reason you told. But this, there is one statement which I heard. What was that? If you know the reason why somebody is acting in a certain way, then you have the reason to love that person. And if you know the reason why somebody is acting in a certain way, then you have the reason to love that person. And the explanation is what? If you know the reason means what? And okay, if you do not know even reason also, and you know at least what because of Rajoguna and Tamoguna is acting in this way, then also what will happen? Arey Prabhu, let me be compassionate, let me not react back because he is acting due to Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Why should I act in Rajoguna and Tamoguna? Yeah. And but actually, if you know the reason behind it, okay, he may have the some good intention, then what will happen? You will then you have the reason to love that person. You will get the reason to love that person. Right? So this statement actually many of the time in my life helps. If you know the reason why somebody is acting in a certain way, then you have the reason to love that person. Right? Another is that specifically dealing with devotees, Krishna will keep the difficult people in our life to cultivate good qualities. This I told before also. Why Krishna keep the difficult people in our life? To cultivate good qualities. I should cultivate good qualities. So let me not react. Uh, So this is the way we can change our. Don't get captivated by the things and become offensive. Uh, don't start identifying with those situations and then get becoming offensive. Like we see that all Rahugana became offensive towards Jada Bharata, but Bharata uh, he did not reacted, but he responded. Uh, And we see the Gopal Chappala also, how he became because of uh, his often he became offense material vision. His become offensive to Haridas Thakur. Specifically, grossly, if you find the Daksha and Siva case, if you see the Daksha seeing the Siva with the material vision completely, and due to that, Daksha became offensive to Lord Shiva, and that whole thing turned into the ghastly warfare now later on. Now let us go ahead. So now
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
let's think. Yes.
Prabhuji, in Gopal Chapra case, like how he became like this through material vision, how he has seen through material vision to understand. Like,
In Gopal Chappal case, actually, it comes that he was very much proud of his own beauty, his own knowledge, you know, and that's how what happened. Because of his pride, he could not understand the glories of Haridas Thakur. You know. Now, next is what? How to see the spiritual reality. You know. So, how to see spiritual reality means is here it has been explained that how uh, till now that it was the material nature and the soul and super soul. And so the first we saw that how super soul is behind all the what we say the living entities and the material nature. And then we saw that how Jiva is different from the material nature. And, and now specifically It is talking about this nature of the soul. Like, Anadi nirgunatvat paramatmayam avyaya sarirastopi kaunteya na karoti na lipyate. Yes, somebody can read.
Those
Those with the vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled.
So there are two words has been mentioned: na karoti, na lipyate. So neither the soul get entangled, although the soul is there in the body, but the soul does not get entangled. The soul does not does never does anything. You know? So so then the question may come: why the living entity suffers so much being in this body? Because he identify very strongly with this body. The whole thing is that the attachment. You know? So to the degree you identify, to that degree then one suffers. Right. You can see, you can read this section at your time because the time is less. Now Jada Bharat instructs to Rahuguna that in this world everybody is thinking that is uh, somebody is thinking he's the master, somebody is thinking that he's the servant, but everybody is the servant of laws of material nature. And everybody is controlled by the laws of material nature. That's how somebody thinks he's the master, somebody thinks he's the servant. So why? Because controlled by material nature means what? He's identifying with his body, and that's how he's controlled by the material nature. But Jada Bharata, he did not identify with this body. Either when he was put in front of that Kali, so that time also the robbers they wanted to cut his head, but he did not identify with the body only. And then later on also, when the harshly spoken by the Raugan, so Jada Bharat did not get affected by it. But he responded it because he became merciful toward that Rahugana by giving him proper instruction. So you can read it, Bhagavatam 5.10.11 and 12. Very nice purports given by the Srila Prabhupada. At your time, you can read this. Yata Sarvagatam. So this now in 33, it has, because Krishna is telling the nature of soul is na lipyate. So this, how is na lipyate, has been mentioned into next sloka. Yata Sarvagatam Soks स्वक्समया स्वक्स्मया आकाशं नोपलिप्यते सर्वतावस्थितो देहे तथात्मा नोपलिप्यते. The example is given here. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the consciousness situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in the body. So why is soul does not. The soul is present, but the soul is spiritual and body is material. How spiritual and material can be combined? The soul does not mix with the uh, body, but is in the body. Now somebody can tell then how soul is, how we are remaining into this body. Soul is completely spiritual, body is completely material, but soul is always going with this body. The body and soul are always together. Yes? Pushpender.
Guruji, a soul is superior, so soul is holding body to fulfill his desire.
But soul is spiritual, no? Superior means spiritual. Soul ko to soul does not have to take any give and take with this body. Yes, Indranil Kumar.
Subtle,
Soul wants to
Subtle
enjoy
body.
in material world,
Subtle body
and
might
to enjoy in material world, there is requirement of material body.
Ah,
And
so because
with instrument of
exactly.
false ego, he connects with that material body and then tries to enjoy.
So although the soul is different from the material body, but because of the attachment with this body, because he wanted to enjoy, and he identifies very strongly. Natural moves with this body. Yeah. But actual nature of the soul is what? That it is completely different and, and from this material body. Then next is what? Yatha prakasa tekam kristanam lokamimam ravi chitra chitrim tatha krishnam prakasayati bharata. है ना? So then karoti, na karoti, he does not do anything. है ना? Okay, soul does not do anything. So then how things take place? Like because of the soul present in the body, there are six changes in the body is taking place. But here it has been told that na karoti, है ना? Means what? Soul does not do anything. Right? So here it has been mentioned that, O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminates the entire body by consciousness. And like sun is there and completely different from this world. And but the illumination which is coming from the sun, and the sunlight is there. The sunlight is affecting what is doing. Uh, uh, is illuminating the whole universe. Same way, the soul is there at one place, and because of the soul is one place, and the sunlight means here we can compare it to the consciousness. The consciousness is pervaded everywhere, and through this consciousness, then what happened? Everything takes place. And the change of the bodies take place. So that's what Krishna is explaining here. As the sun is situated in one place, the illuminating the whole universe, a small particle of the spiritual, although situated in the heart of the body, is illuminating the whole body by consciousness. And thus, consciousness is proof of presence of the soul, as the sunlight or light is the proof of presence of the sun. And the soul is present in the body, there is a consciousness all over the body. As soon as the soul has passed from the body, there is a no more consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is not a product of combination of matter, it is a symptom of living entity. Yes. So we'll go further now. This is the last sloka. Chetra chetra gyor evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti mosam cha ye viduryanti te param. So this is the conclusion, putting everything together. Now Krishna is telling, giving the conclusion. Those who sees with the eye of knowledge, means jnana chaksu, the difference between the body and the knower of the body, can also understand the process of liberation from the bondage in material nature, attain the supreme goal. And so now, Prabhupada writes in the Prabhupada that a faithful person should at first have a good association to hear of God and thus gradually become enlightened. And, and one accepts a spiritual master, one can learn to distinguish between matter and the spirit, and becomes and that becomes the stepping stones for the further spiritual realization. A spiritual master, by various instructions, teaches his student to get free from the material conception of life. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita, we find Krishna instructing Arjuna to free him from materialistic concentration. How this take place? This change of vision, change of consciousness take place by good association. Or comes faithful person at first have good association to hear from of God and thus gradually become enlightened. So we see that full chapter, this is the again and again one repetitive thing is what um, that how to get free from materialistic vision, how to get free from this entanglement, having association of the great devotees of the Lord, hearing from him, submit to the process of hearing. And so then Sambandha Gyan that become established. Okay, so I think we'll end it here. This time is almost over. Yes, in the name.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, we saw in 30th verse and before also that it says that whatever activities are performed by the body and self is actually not doing anything, and that vision one should develop. So, Prabhuji, what actually, although soul is not doing anything and it is completely different from material body, it remains entrapped, and that is due to attachment we saw. Then, what actually soul does? Like mind has function of thinking, feeling, willing. Then the desires which are there because of the soul, because of the self, or they are also function of mind only.
No, desire is a function of soul. Right?
Then,
So
Prabhuji,
when that manifestation of that desire comes, desire means the deep-rooted desire is what Bhogavrati, enjoying mentality purpose is often. You know? That manifest in different forms through the mind, thinking, feeling, willing, you know? And through senses, then more grosser level it goes. But deep-rooted desire is what enjoying mentality. We wanted to enjoy separate from God.
okay, yes, Prabhuji. That's true. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Bhaji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Bhaji,
Who
like
is there?
this soul with Anand. So like how this can help Bhogavrit?
Who is there? First of all, I'm not able to see. Minute. Huh. Who is speaking?
Rantideva
Okay,
Prabhuji.
Kalyanpur voice. Ranti Devo. Yes, Ranti Devo.
Like this soul is Satchitanand. So
Huh.
how is this how it can have Bhogavrit?
How can I have?
Bhogavritti.
Bhogavrit. That means how it's possible, Bhaji? This I'm not able to understand.
So this goes to the root to that because Krishna has independence. Every jiva is a part and parcel of Krishna, also has the independence that is called minute independence. Right? And the thing comes that because of having this minute independence, he wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, which Prabhupada mentions many of the time. And now, first, how I got first time enjoying mentality? Prabhupada often says, goes back, don't think much about this, go back, you'll get to know. Now, the first of all, you come out of the whole situation. Okay. But do we understand or we have enjoying mentality or not?
Definitely, Bhaji.
Right. We are now because we have initially we were completely going in the current of enjoyment of this world, but now we want to go opposite to that current. So we are able to see in ourselves only that there is a mind is going to one direction, but our intelligence always focus on how can I be very sincere, how can my seva vritti will develop, and that is only our prayers in front of the Lord most of the time. Is it not? That I want to go to opposite to the current in which I flow, uh, in which I was there for the so long time. Now I want to go to opposite to this current. And you see that when to the degree our seva vritti develops, we become very joyful internally. And, and to the degree bhoga bhakti is more, so externally we may feel some happiness, but then it finally uh, takes us to the sufferings and or guiltiness. Yes. So this the nature of a jiva is that he want to enjoy. and, uh, and Krishna is called as Rasovesa. He is the uh, Rasovesa means what? He is the filled with the what? The ocean of rasa. And we are trying to take that, and if we're trying to connect with Krishna is means what we're trying to serve the Lord, we're trying to serve the Lord, getting that rasa. And if we don't aspire for spiritual rasa, automatically we'll go for material rasas, bhautik rasas, which NOD quite oftenly, quite nicely explained by Rupa Goswami there. Yes, Akash, I think we should
Hare
end
Krishna,
here.
Prabhuji.
Others no, or question should I continue?
Prabhuji, those who wants to leave, they can leave, or you can take 1 2 minutes.
Ah, okay. Okay.
हरे कृष्णा
Questions they can
प्रभु
ask Akash point this one. Yes, friend.
प्रभु जी, जो आपने 3.27 और 30 का वो कंपैरिजन करा था, जिसमें भगवान तो बोलते हैं कि प्रकृति क्रियमाणानि गुणे कर्माणि सर्वश अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा करता है मन से। और यहाँ पे बॉडी का जो बताया गया कि बॉडी करता है, सेल्फ कुछ नहीं करता, वो थोड़ा समझ में नहीं है, एक बार फिर से बता देंगे।
So their body is selling a foolish living entity thinks that I am only the doer. I am only the doer. है ना? But actually everything is manifested by the nature. The foolish living entity does not understand this, and that's how he is a foolish. Prakriti kriyamanani gune ahankar. So definition of a foolish person has been given. Here transcendentalist की बात हो रही है, ज्ञानी की बात हो रही है. तो ज्ञानी क्या देखता है कि सब कुछ कौन कर रहा है, नेचर कर रहा है. तो ये कोई एकदम परफेक्टेड ज्ञानी नहीं की बात नहीं हो रही है. परफेक्टेड ज्ञानी वो क्या देखेगा कि भगवान कर रहे हैं. देयर इज अ लॉर्ड इज द अल्टीमेट डूअर बिहाइंड एवरीथिंग. बट इज हियर द ज्ञानी इज इवॉल्विंग ज्ञानी. The evolving jnani means what? He understand that I am not the doer. As the soul, I am not the doer. And we are just desire in functioning. If you see the functioning, he says that I am not doer, but the nature is doing everything, and everything is manifesting due to the nature. Getting no? So, like for example, if you see the whole functioning, how it is jiva desire, Lord sanction, and material nature function. है ना? So this Jnani is not able, he is evolving Jnani, so he understands that nature is functioning, but he does not understand that there is a Supreme Lord behind. So that's why but he's a transcendentalist. He's an evolving transcendentalist. But 3.27 means what? He is telling that I am only the Karta. He does not understand the role of nature, he does not understand the role of the Lord. And that's why he's the foolish. You know? Getting. But who is the doer finally? Actually, if you see the all three are the doer. You know, Jiva desires, Lord sanction, and then there is a nature functions. But who is the ultimate doer in one sense? The Lord. How? Because he is the sanctioner. He will not sanction only what nature can do, what Jiva can do. Nothing. And that's why it's the ultimate. ठीक है नहीं? So this comes in fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You can refer it back. Fifth point 2026. So that. ठीक है?
ओके प्रभु।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
हाँ.
if there is some quarrel between two devotees, then one thing can be there can be some extreme that I will not talk to him. And second can be, okay, this is due to my karma, so let us ignore and go ahead. But you told this situation can be seen as for the development of good qualities. So, Prabhuji, how to develop good qualities by situations?
No, I told you that Krishna put difficult people in your life, in our life, to develop good qualities. Now he is coming and harshly speaking. Means if we see that he is the instrument of my own karma, I should tolerate. You are you learn to tolerate. He is just instrument. My own past karma is acting, because I acted differently, harshly with some devotee, and that's how the reaction is coming back to me. So what should I do? I should tolerate this situation. And if you learn to tolerate externally, Krishna will give you internal the quality of tolerance. So we should understand that Krishna has put difficult people in our life to cultivate more qualities.
Okay.
So now let us understand 3, 4 devotees harshly spoke with you and you could learn to tolerate it. Then many situations coming in the further, people may speak, people may harshly speak, but you will be able to continue. Hello? Otherwise, it may react, then it may happen that we may commit offenses, or we may uh, uh, ourselves get our practice may get hampered by this, and we may go away from Krishna. Okay. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, "Je sohe se rohe." Okay. Okay. But what happen if the things goes out of our tolerance? Okay, then mention to some seniors who can help us out. And नाक बंद करके कान बंद करके फिर हमको टॉलरेट नहीं करना है. We can approach, but we can become strong in tolerating the situations. Then what uh, will will be able to make progress very nicely. Okay, we'll end it here, Paul. For this.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you, Srila Prabhupada.